And
But
that's
yeah,
what you guys saw when you seen the big shadow when you guys were going by?
when it was coming up on the other side of the bridge, yeah, we seen a great big. Didn't see what it was because the moonlight was coming down, but all you see is a great big. I guess it could have. People say it could have been like a grizzly or something, but man, that thing was huge and it moved really quick and it let us know it was there with the banging of the trees and everything. Man, it was. Yeah, seems like just it happened yesterday. I don't even know what year it was.
I remember the floor had a whole bunch of designs like this, but no picture on it. Was white with those squiggles.
Oh yeah. Huh, and you can look at it for a long time and see pictures and but I think I was 15 or 16 years old with I don't know if you could say names on here.
Yep.
With Thomas George. We grew up together in Hagwilget. Lived there forever. Anyway, we were coming back from Old Town. We were, like I said, we were about 15, 16, and I had my BMX bike. It was a fancy Spitfire Turbo, the black one. Had the fiberglass seat post, everything like that. But then there's a long, if you know, Hagwilget Bridge is one of the highest bridges in BC, highest suspension bridges in BC, and we were making our way down to that. There's a long straight stretch coming from gas station.
2 mile gas station.
Yeah, 2 mile gas station. There was no lights back then. It's just black going all the way down to the bridge. And we had to get across that bridge to get to Hagwilget. And we were at the top of that long straight stretch. It was going down. And then you have to go a long straight stretch, go down and turn the sharp corner, and you're right there. The bridge goes across. You go across that bridge, you're in Hagwilget. So we had to get to Hagwilget. I think we were coming from the carnival or something way after it closed. It was pitch black. We got to the gas station, and I told Thomas, "Here's the straight stretch. It's pitch black. We better get through it quick if you ride on my handlebars." And he said, "No. We'll just walk it, there's nothing." And all of a sudden, we started walking down that long straight stretch, and you can see a tree move, and it's not a small tree. They're great big aspen, or those trembling aspen. They get to about 8 inches, maybe 10 inches. 8 to 10 inches, and you see one move, bend way down, and all of a sudden you can hear the thumping, like it was thumping right beside us, coming really close, and then all of a sudden we hear loud thumps and banging, and the trees started moving back and forth, and we looked and we could see the moonlight, the trees were, and the thing was coming up the hill and took off down the road as fast as we could. Thomas was running, that thing was staying with us, and it started coming up the hill a little closer. Thomas jumped on the back of the BMX bike, back of my BMX bike, and he was saying, "Go, go, go!" And he's holding on, and I started pedaling as fast as I could, and it was downhill. We were going fast. Well, it seemed like it was fast. It might have been 30 kilometers an hour or something, 35. We went flying down that hill, that road, but those trees, you can hear loud banging and thumping. Those trees were moving all the way, and the trees went ahead of us. Like that thing left us behind. We were going maybe 40 kilometers, and that thing left us behind and went around the corner, and you can see the moonlight. And it went around the corner, and Thomas sort of settled down. He was yelling around on the back, and I said, "It's way up ahead." And Thomas said, "That's where we're going." And I said, we gotta get across that bridge." And we kept walking. He jumped off, and he was walking, and I was coasting on the bike. And I said, it's gotta be around this corner by the bridge. So we went around the corner, and you could see Hagwilget across the canyon, but the bridge is there, and you can hear sort of like almost a moan, but it was heavy. You can hear it moving anyway. I don't know how to explain it. Not its footsteps, but you can hear it moving up. It came up. It must have went under one side, went under the bridge, and then it started coming up the other side when we were showing up. And we could see just a big black thing coming up. And Thomas took off running, and I had my BMX, and I pedaled as fast as I could, and I still couldn't keep up with him. He got to the middle of the bridge, and I caught up with him, and he was out of breath because he ran so fast. He was the fastest runner in our res. But then after I caught up with him, he was standing there crying, and we were looking back, and there was nothing back there. And he said he was telling me he didn't think we were gonna make it out of that, and he was crying, bawling, and I said, "We're here, man. We're here. We're heading home." And then we seen a car coming, and we were just happy to see lights. Car came down and came onto the bridge, and we were right in the middle, and I said, "Look, there's a car, Thomas." And he was crying away, and then he was starting to feel a little better until that car came a little closer, and then it started honking its horn, and Thomas started screaming, and I looked back, and I said, "Let's go." And Thomas took off walking, and I just walked my bike behind him, and we went home. Went home, and he tried to, or he didn't talk about it ever. One time, 10 years later, I tried talking to him, or somebody asked him, I told somebody about it, and they asked him, and he sort of got mad at them and said, "I don't want to talk about that. I never talk about that." He used to always tell everybody. But I told my kids that story, and they were like, "Yeah, right, Dad. Campfire, we always go camping," and I told them that story. They figured it was a campfire story until Thomas came. Thomas came over a few years ago, and he told us, I asked him, I said, "Hey man, you remember coming from 2 Mile?" And as soon as I said that, he looks at me and he nods his head, and I said, "You want to tell the kids about that?" And he looks at me again, and he told them the exact story, just about word for word. And that's 30 years later or something. He told the exact same story, word for word. Told it to the kids. the same exact same thing I told him. So that was what I believe that was Bigfoot, and it moved quick, and it wanted us to know it was there, smashing trees, banging them. It ran way ahead of us in thick bush, like aspen bush. Man, it moved quick.
And
But
that's
yeah.
what you guys saw when you seen the big shadow when you guys were going by?
When it was coming up on the other side of the bridge, yeah, we seen a great big. Didn't see what it was because the moonlight was coming down, but all you see is a great big. I guess it could have. People say it could have been like a grizzly or something, but man, that thing was huge and it moved really quick, and it let us know it was there with the banging of the trees and everything, eh? Man, it was, yeah, seems like just happened yesterday. But when Thomas talks about it, if you can talk to Thomas George, that's the exact same story he'll tell you. Happened in 2 Mile, Hazelton, just before Hagwilget Suspension Bridge. If you can get a chance to walk on Hagwilget Suspension Bridge, you're on Hagwilget side, you walk across that and look to the right, that's where that big thing was walking up. If you get a chance to go off that bridge and go up towards, there's an old gas station up there in Hazelton, 2 Mile Hazelton, you'll see exactly where we walked down that long road towards the Hagwilget Suspension Bridge. That's it.
Well, one thing that I can say that might confirm that is it's directly across the river from where I saw my Bigfoot experience when I was 12 years old, going down towards the water gauge.
That was your first one, eh?
Yep. So my sighting back when I was 12 is confirmation of what he saw. No one's gonna believe me, no one has to. But I know what I saw.
Whatever it was really fast and really quick, but it wanted us to know it was there. Man, did it move quick, and those aspen trees, every tree on that whole road going down was moving side to side. Like you can hear a couple of them breaking. Yeah, I remember it clear, like it was yesterday. Thomas, like I said, never talked about it for years. But yeah, scared him.